that chakras and herbs and visualization and manifestation is just a bunch of hippie woo-woo nonsense. Welcome back to the Science of the Woo, where we talk about how modern scientific principles support ancient traditional healing practices that have, for some reason, been lost through time mysteriously. And we're not just talking about neuroscience principles today, my friends. No, we are bringing in physics and mathematics too. The topic here is how visualization can support manifestation. Buckle up, buttercups, it's a good one. Neuroscience principle number 1 is that our brains and our nervous systems have no idea the difference between visualization and real life. They don't have a clue. Therapists use this all the time. Prolonged exposure, somatic experiencing, EMDR. This is the whole principle of PTSD, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference between something bad happening to you right now and something that happened back then and there. And because doors are two-way streets once they're open, we can use that for good, not just the negative, right? Elite athletes do this all the time. We're watching this real time in the Olympics. They're visualizing their run going perfectly well. But especially when we start to think about the idea of manifestation, we start to think about, hey, something is not happening in my life, but I would like it to be that way. And especially when we're first starting out, we are reminded of Newton's first law of motions. Physics review, my friends. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. Those elite athletes are already in motion. They're rolling. They're taking that momentum forward and they're launching it. But if you're just starting, that body is at rest and it doesn't want to not be at rest. And when we're looking at optimal growth patterns, hey, what's the easiest way to make growth happen in a sustainable, functional way? We are reminded of the Fibonacci sequence every single time. And the Fibonacci sequence essentially is where the last two numbers are added together to get your next. First steps in the Fibonacci sequence, it's feeling like you're moving mountains and you're maybe going from 0 to 1. Or worse, you're going from 1 to 1. You're putting all that work in and you're not seeing any change, you're not seeing any difference. And because we're a culture of instant gratification, I don't know many adults that don't have their dopamine receptors blown out, right? We want it and we want it now. We are generally not very good with the 0, 1, 1, 2 part of the Fibonacci sequence, right? Something comes in, something happens, and you get from 0 to 1. We love that. But 1 plus 0 is still 1, right? Like that's a hard jump. 1 plus 1 is 2, that's better. 2 plus 1 is 3, now we're getting somewhere. 2 plus 3 is 5, yeah. 5 plus 3 is 8, now. And you see where this is going, right? But if our brains don't know the difference between imagining it and it happening in real life, and if we as a society are prone to dropping out of the race when things are hard, if we don't get our way right this second, and if we know that visualization works, why would we not start applying visualization in the hard times, in those first steps, when we're first struggling to break out of that body at rest, stays at rest, when you're busting ass and your last step was 1 and the step before that was 0, but guess what? Your next step is still going to be 1, 2. 1 also. Visualize the success and make those early steps easier on yourself. And then keep visualizing success so that you can make those giant steps land.